Welcome to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Night Nation's only call-in show goes live now.
All right, this is Knightline at Night. I am Andrew Phegley. Welcome, Night Nation. We're live from the Dever Team Studios and the WDBO Studios, brought to you by Chad Bar Law, raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036 for a free consultation, or visit chadbarlaw.com. We're taking your calls as well. If you want to talk to us, 844-580-WDBO, 844-580-9326. I am Andrew Phegley, AP underscore Knightline on Twitter. I got Big Ben Stout, Big Social 32 on Twitter, and Night Bengal as well, from the Santa Rosa studios in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. He should be here with us as well. All right. And then we also have a very special guest with us tonight. We wanted to talk to this guy. There's all kinds of stuff going on at UCF. We have Mark Wright, Deputy AD and Associate Vice President for Championship Resources. That's a long title. Mark, are you there?
I'm here, Andrew. Yes, I sure am. Thank you.
Hey, Mark, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. I wanted to ask you, first of all, explain that title to us. What is it that you do at UCF?
So I lead our athletics fundraising. That's a short term for that. Part of what we're building at UCF is to do things differently. And we define generating revenue and investing it in winning championships. We call that championship resources. It was part of our strategic plan is to use a little more vernacular that's very different than our industry. So that's another word for athletics fundraising is the best way I can say that.
All right. And this year, the big thing, the new campaign is called Keep Charging On. Explain that to us a little bit and how people could get involved with that and what that actually does.
Sure. Well, in the traditional fundraising model, we enter with transactional gift revenues, in other words, those seat-based sort of commitments. And then we built a major gift program in the Shareholder Society. And then a logical growth for us that we've been focused on for the last few years is developing an annual fund. So what is that transitional giving, so beyond the ticket, but not yet at a major gift level? And our greatest asset at UCF is not only the size of our alumni base, but also the age. We see that as an opportunity, not a curse, because the average age of our alums is about 36, 37 years old and getting younger. So in other words, we have to build a model that's a little more social in mind, a little more electronic and digital. I'm an old school fundraiser at heart. This is a face-to-face contact sport, which is something that's a lot of major gift work. But as we build this model, this middle ground of charitable giving, but on an annual basis, that usually tends to be a little more nominal in giving as far as the scope of that commitment. But we chose to use some words in this 1 year time frame. We would call that the Charge On Fund, as a brand that we've been starting to peddle a little bit. But we decided to take a pause on our annual fundraising and put a banner on it called Keep Charging On. It's a 1 year initiative. This is in response to the financial uncertainty of the upcoming year, especially around football, which is such a financial reality for us, is that football is so important to all of our 16 sports. So to that end, we decided to lock things down. We want our donors to continue to fulfill their obligations relative to existing pledges, but we wanted to take a pause and focus with a clear identity of a 1 year initiative with a goal of $2 million as a way to just manage through this tunnel of uncertainty. And our goal is to come out of the other end with a huge acceleration once we get back to being who we are, which that's that very disruptive, very aggressive athletics program that challenges and wants to be a top 25 monster of an athletics program into the future.
Ben Stout, a former UCF athlete in the early 2000s. So it's great to have you on the show, and I love the vision that you and Danny White and all the administrators are creating. And just talking about this Keep Charging On fund, this was obviously announced and kicked off by our fearless leader, Danny White, and he contributed some of his own personal funds to it as well. Then you had 3 coaches that also kicked it off. So could you speak about those coaches and how they stepped up? And then potentially on the flip side of that, those smaller donors that are more of the crowdfunding that are just trying to contribute what they can for this cause.
Perfect. Thanks, Ben. It's nice to chat with you. I think we met on a few occasions, and thanks for being a great varsity night for us.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. So how this started essentially with so much news in the college sports scene and the landscape. You've heard cuts, you've heard salary cuts, furloughs, all these other really challenging scenarios and environments that are just troubling, but it's very real what we're facing. So at the end of last year, when basketball was shut down, right before we played in our tournament game in the conference tournament, from that point forward, we came as a department, we stalled our spending and just, that was cost savings measure. We started to managing our costs at the end of the fiscal year, create some savings going into this year because of all the uncertainty. Similarly, we also addressed our operating budgets and trimmed those by 10%. We want to make some real solid decisions early on. So this happened back in that probably that latter March into early mid-April timeframe, making some really thoughtful decisions to take a strategic pause on a lot of things that we were doing. Imagine just testing the winds and seeing what's going on. And never anticipating, while we all have to be realistic about the doubt of football season back, which, every day is pins and needles as we speak. But what happened is as we came to the conclusion that we don't have plans at this point for furloughs and pay cuts, but the world could collide in months or the next 6 months or a year, who knows? But at this point, our greatest asset is the young staff that we've invested in to be very creative. These coaches that are overachieving relative to the resources provided to these programs, everybody's got a chip on their shoulder, and we work really hard and create great value for this institution. So our greatest asset are the people we've hired to do the jobs that they do. So we stay focused and invested in that process. However, we also have some real circumstances of uncertainty. And so we've challenged, and Danny, in talking to those 3 head coaches, and now to the rest of our staff, which we're working on as we speak, and now appealing to our donor base as broad and nominal and annual and participation as it is, we're also asking some of our usual suspects and new prospect friends on a major gift category to do a 1-year commitment. So it landed that Danny wanted to leave this off in a pure leadership moment to say this is what's important, this is what's right, to want to show great leadership. And appealing to Coach Heupel, Coach Abe, and Coach Dawkins, it was a no-brainer. They said, what can we do? How can we do this? And so working with those 3, and they announced their $430,000 commitment collectively on top of Danny's $100,000. It was a way to introduce something that was meaningful and impactful and really, quite honestly, an example of leadership and what it's supposed to look like. Now we challenge our executive staff who, as a collective group, 9 of those individuals, which I'm one of, we committed as a group $73,500. And so it was and so now we're working on our staff and other head coaches and our assistant coaches and trying to see where we end up. And we put a goal out there of $2 million. We know that this is a 1-year initiative. It ends June 30th. The goal of this is to use it for some unrestricted sort of opportunities, meaning if Danny this is a very important critical initiative that needs to happen so that we can pull those revenues and invest it for an outcome that's very important to us executing on strategy and vision. This is the goal, to not miss opportunities. At a time when so many other institutions, and obviously we're saying this from a moment of still uncertainty of the coming week, maybe a couple of weeks of what may happen with football. But as we sit today, we stay focused on playing that season. This was to be an amazing year of growth for us with revenue coming off of an amazing year last year, that we would have reached our way into the mid-$70 million budget, which provides a complexion of a Power 5 program sort of a narrative. We don't like to use the Power 5 narrative, but this is one thing that we can really identify with, is accelerating past some of those sort of programs because of the budget we put together. That's a combination of fundraising, ticket sales, premium sales, and corporate sponsorships that have really, really ramped up in the last few years. So this is an attempt to ensure that we're not going to go backwards with our acceleration and our momentum. And that was the whole goal, and it was very appealing to our coaches and our leadership team. And now we're hoping our fan base and the rest of our staff steps up and ensures that our momentum is sustained, as at the same time making sure we feel like as a staff we're investing in each other at this time.
All right, Roger, you got something for Mark?
Well, Mark, that was very well said, and I want to thank you for all your efforts on behalf of Knight Nation. Obviously, we all benefit by this. And you guys have been doing a really great job. Not only have you garnered the contributions internally, but it looks like we got a $600,000 commitment for another one of our projects, and then $25,000 by John Giuliano, as well this week. So just doing the rough numbers in my head, it looks like we're about halfway to goal. How do you plan on getting across the line for the rest of it? Are you relying on us as a fan base to come together and bring this home, or are you going to be reaching out to other consistent donors?
Sure. Roger, it's very important that I put some clarity out there. So the gift from Wharton Smith, which we put out on social media tonight, that is a capital projects commitment that we have been working on for a while. That helps us with a few of the projects that we're working on as we speak, and also the Roth Athletic Center. So that's not part of the Keep Charging On Fund, because the Keep Charging On Fund is unrestricted, and that gift happens to be restricted for a construction project. It just happened to be in the portal of recognition as we speak. So that being said, I'd love to count that towards the unrestricted category, but that's going in bricks and mortar as we speak. So back to that, we probably have identified, I know, including John Giuliano, what an amazing charitable friend of ours. He's the chair of the UCF Foundation. Obviously made a huge commitment for us for our baseball stadium and helped get that renovated and expanded. We talked last week, and he said, "What can I do?" And I shared with him what we were working on, and it was a no-brainer. That's called Unbelievable Leadership, and I feel pretty certain you're going to see a few more in the coming couple of weeks, very similar around that. I feel very, very confident in that. That's meant to say from every angle, from leadership, major gift sort of friends. You see there's probably about 165 people. I'm trying to remember the number, 150 for sure, maybe 160, who by the end of the next few days, you'll see it all line up in our system of that we've been very public with on the keepchargingon.com site. But we've totaled about $160,000, $170,000 at this point that I know of. And so that was from about 130 individuals. So there's my math going wrong with me. But
hey, Mark, I'm sorry. Hey, we got to take a break real quick. I hate to interrupt. Hold that thought, and after the break, come back with us and continue that, if you would, please.
Sounds good.
Hello, Knight fans. It's Roger, a.k.a. Knight Bengal, and I'm excited to announce that I'll be joining you and Andrew Phegley in writing the long-awaited next chapter of UCF's first podcast, Knightline. I'm ecstatic to share the latest news with you weekly as our Knights win on the field, on the court, and in the classroom. Remember to tune in starting August 10th for the best news and content on your favorite coast-to-coast podcast reboot. That's right, Knightline 3.0 will be returning to the airwaves wherever you choose to download our podcast. Charge on!
Now, the three big things you need to know.
Three.
says 447 MCO technicians, flight attendants, and other employees will lose their jobs starting in October. 2. Major League Baseball suspended the Miami Marlins season through Sunday. This comes after a COVID-19 outbreak among players. 1. New tonight, you may know Kodak as the brand for portable cameras. Now Kodak Moment will have a new meaning.
Kodak will now produce generic, active pharmaceutical ingredients.
President Trump is using the Defense Production Act to loan $765 million to launch Kodak Pharmaceuticals.
There's nothing typical about back to school this year, but that's not stopping us from helping over 20,000 children in our community to be ready, and you can help. Just tap the Backpack-a-thon button inside the WDBO app to donate to our virtual school supply drive. Help make sure the first day of school is a successful one with WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580.
An auto accident can change your life forever. At Chad Barr Law, we are raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Hi, I'm Chad Barr, and I want you to know that our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the representation you deserve in your greatest time of need. If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, call 407-599-9036 for a free consultation or visit chadbarlaw.com. At Chad Barr Law, our clients come to us in need and leave as family. Offices, Altamont Springs.
Check engine, airbag, brake lights on all at the same time? What's it all mean? Join me, Larry Perry, every Saturday 3 to 5 p.m. for the Jasper Engine and Transmission Magic Mechanics Show, where we take your automotive questions. Hey, did I mention it's free?
The opinions you hear are that of the host and callers, and not that of WDBO.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support, and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store, and I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store at Millennia Plaza and Waterford Towers, and now open in the Villages.
Seamless Communication Systems is now offering thermal cameras that scan body temperatures automatically. We offer 2 different camera solutions. Our tablet scans 1 person at a time, and our camera scans up to 16 people per second. Protect your employees and your customers and give them peace of mind walking into your business. Our tablets start at $2,200 and cameras are as low as $399 per month. To learn more, call 321-280-8800 or at seamlesscs.com.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline, almost the morning after, but Knightline at Night. I almost said it again. All right, we have Mark Wright on the phone, Deputy AD Associate VP for Championship Resources at UCF. Mark, I apologize that I had to cut you off there, but we have to pay those bills. You know how that goes. I deeply apologize, though. I'm so sorry. Continue with what you were saying.
Bills, Andrew.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. I well understand paying bills. That's we're all in that business.
Yeah, so go ahead with what you were saying before.
Sure. So we have accumulated $665,000 in commitments in the last 3 business days, and that's from about 130 individuals. I do anticipate we'll probably reach that 700 mark by the next 2 or 3 days. Therefore, surpassing the 33% mark is my opinion by the end of the week. And then we have a run to the end of June. The greatest thing that we can do is challenge folks. First of all, we want to also have empathy. Some people are struggling financially. We're not tone deaf to that. But those who aren't, we challenge them to do what they can do. Those who are, we're here to be the greatest source of pride on your behalf and to keep charging on. That's all we know to do. We can't make everybody feel better about all that's going on in the world today. What we can do is be some focus of positive momentum, and that's our whole goal through this. So we challenge people to do what they can do, talk about it, encourage on this site, the keepchargingon.com. It's a playful site. We encourage people to be advocates, challenge others to make gifts. But our whole goal is to see this through and appeal to our fan base through the coming year and come out of the light at the end of the tunnel into a next competitive season and fiscal year when we accelerate right through to what we're supposed to be, and that's clarifying in our vision to be a top 25 program, Orlando's hometown team, and continue to deliver unbelievable opportunities for our young men and women who are student athletes at UCF.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Well, it's keepchargingon.com. Is that what you said?
It is, keepchargingon.com.
All righty. Well, Mark, thank you so much for coming on and explaining a little bit. Listeners, if you can, Night Nation, of course, give what you can. If you can't, you can't. But there's a lot of room to make up for the losses from this year and what's gone on. So, Mark, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking time out of your evening.
Thanks, Roger, Ben, and Andrew. Have a wonderful evening, and go Knights. Keep charging on.
All right, charge on. All right, well, that was cool.
Yeah, that was real cool.
Very cool of Mark Wright to come on and talk to us a little bit about that. These things that UCF does with that money is big. It's not just, it's not buying banners. It's not, doing stuff like that, but it's making our student athletes more comfortable and doing their thing, building buildings and all kinds of stuff and making the athletics department run well.
Yeah, I mean, it's making our athletic program more attractive to recruits. It's more attractive to students and alumni, like understanding where their money is going and seeing the reflection of that in those buildings and those different assets and funds that are being created. So I think most of the alumni base is very excited about this initiative and hopefully can give what they can.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very cool. So go to keepchargingon.com. I haven't seen the website yet. I obviously probably need to go on there since I'm talking about it so much. But I think that was really cool. Very cool of Mark Wright to come on. It's later in the evening and stuff like that. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a little bit of a break here, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Travis Dever, Kai's Real Estate, the Dever team, New Smyrna Beach. Your source for real estate and everything else, New Smyrna Beach. Proud sponsor of Knightline. Call me anytime at 386-690-1636. That's 386-690-1636. Let me show you my hometown, New Smyrna Beach, UCF's favorite beach. Go Knights and charge on.
Sometimes our food is more than just food. It's an integral part of our community. So this year, Discover is giving $5 million to support Black-owned restaurants. To places like Rodney Scott's Barbecue in Charleston, Post Office Pies in Birmingham, Back in the Day Bakery in Savannah, and hundreds more places in your local community, all across the country. Learn how you can show your support at Discover.com.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a language today. That's BABBEL.com.
This is the new home of WDBO.
WDBO.
107.3 FM and AM 580. Orlando's news and talk. And where Orlando turns first for breaking news, weather, and traffic 24 hours a day. Listen on the WDBO app or at WDBO.com. Live team coverage
starts now.
9:30 at WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. We've seen mostly dark and cloudy skies. Stay tuned here on WDBO. We will get your weather and traffic in just a moment. But first, our top story. The Florida Department of Health released released the latest COVID-19 numbers today.
They show that we added another 9,230 cases. But as Governor DeSantis spoke today at Advent Health in Orlando, he said there's actually more who have been infected.
If you look at the number of people that are considered cases and have tested positive, that's only a fraction of the number of people that have been infected, both here in Florida and throughout the country.
Orange County added 427 cases today, Osceola 245, and Seminole 115. Brandy Hastings, WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580.
WDBO, where Orlando turns first for severe weather.
Still a few scattered showers out there that will taper off over the next few hours, so quiet overnight. Tomorrow morning looks calm. Early afternoon, not a whole lot going on either tomorrow. But mid to late afternoon, early evening, another 50% chance of storms with a high temperature in the low 90s. From Channel 9 Eyewitness News, I'm meteorologist George Waldenberger.
I'm Juliana Maya. Interactive weather radar shows us some showers across central Florida. We are seeing some light rain by Winter Garden and a nice 75 over by Cocoa Beach. Knightline will be back in 4 minutes. Continuing our team coverage, we've been tracking the potential tropical cyclone 9 closing in on the Caribbean. We will keep you updated. If you're looking to get prepared, listen up. Parks and Rec Community Supervisor Chris McNarma.
Stop by at the park, pick up your set of 10 sandbags, face masks, and hand sanitizer. All you need is an ID showing an Orange County address.
There are 5 different locations you can check out, including Barnett Park, Bithlows Community Park, and Meadow Woods Park. 931 at WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580.
An auto accident can change your life forever. At Chad Barr Law, we are raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Hi, I'm Chad Barr, and I want you to know that our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the representation you deserve in your greatest time of need. If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, call 407-599-9036 for a free consultation or visit chadbarlaw.com. At Chad Barr Law, our clients come to us in need and leave as family. Offices Altamont Springs.
Grills Lakeside Seafood. Located on beautiful Lake Fairview north of downtown is a great place for casual, comfortable waterfront dining. With a massive deck, you're sure to have a great view while enjoying amazing food. Come try the shrimp Cuban sandwich and listen to live music while you enjoy relaxing lakeside views. See the full menu at grillsseafood.com. That's grillsseafood.com. Better yet, just stop by Grills Lakeside Seafood. Located on Lake Fairview today for great food and relaxing views. Open for curbside pickup and delivery.
Hi, Dr. St. Germain, D.C. here with BurnFat Orlando. I would like to personally invite you to download the WDBO app powered by BurnFatOrlando.com. With BurnFat Orlando's step-by-the-scale money-back guarantee, if you don't lose weight within the first 10 days, we'll refund your money.
The Armories wants to remind you to always be safe. If you have a firearm, you have a full-time responsibility to make sure your firearm is secure when not using it. For more information on firearm safety, visit any of the 3 Armories locations and their firearm safety experts. TheArmories.com.
Why do people hire a financial advisor? Frankly, it's because they want to be sure they'll be okay. An advisor's ultimate value add is to help you achieve your financial goals while relieving stress, particularly in times like this. For more than 40 years, Certified Financial Planner professionals at Certified Financial Group in Altamont Springs have been serving as fiduciaries when providing financial planning and investment advice for a fee. We've seen it all. Black Monday, the dot-com bust, 9/11, the Great Recession. And through it all, our clients have looked to us to be the steady hand in stormy weather. So if your financial planner is not certified, or perhaps you feel your current relationship is lacking, give us a call. Remember, anyone can say that they are a fiduciary, but only certified financial planners are legally obligated to act in your best interests. And we have 12 of them under one roof. In fact, we put our fiduciary obligation in writing. 407-869-9800 or on the web at financialgroup.com. That's financialgroup.com. We're the Certified Financial Group, and we're planning tomorrow, today.
Management for a fee through Certified Advisory Corp., a registered investment advisor, online at financialgroup.com.
Weather brought to you by ProTech Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services.
Still a few lingering spotty showers in the process of ending. So later tonight, all the way through tomorrow morning, even through the midday hours, tomorrow things look pretty quiet. Tomorrow afternoon, especially mid to late afternoon, early evening, another 50% chance of storms after highs reach the low 90s. From Channel 9 Eyewitness News, I'm meteorologist George Waldenberger.
Now, WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580.
Safe Touch Security.
Triple Team Traffic.
There are emergency vehicles
potholes on OBT South at Land Street Road. All lanes are blocked. Use caution. Also, police activity on the Turnpike North ramp to OBT, exit 254. The off-ramp left lane is blocked. On the Beach Line West, watch out for work by exit 11, 436. And a Volusia County note, there's a crash blocking all lanes on 95 North at exit 268 with backups from mile marker 266. With traffic alerts every 6 minutes in the morning, we're helping you get to work on time. From the WDBO Triple Team Traffic Center, I'm Andrew Torres.
And now, back to Nightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Nightline at Night. I am Andrew Phegley, and we're live from the Dever Team Studios and the WDBO Studios and in Santa Rosa Beach for Roger.
Santa Rosa Beach.
I had to look at Ben because I forgot again. All right. We're brought to you by Chad Barr Law. I need to write that on my little screen over here.
You really do.
I know. Brought to you by Chad Barr Law, raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036 for a free consultation, or visit chadbarlaw.com. We're taking your calls if you want to call us and talk to us about whatever UCF. If you got questions or anything like that, 844-580-WDBO. 844-580-WDBO. 9326 is that. If you don't have the little letters on your phone, it's 9326. All right. You can reach me, AP_Knightline on Twitter, and you can reach Ben at BigSocial32 on Twitter, and Roger at Night Bengal on Twitter. So we had our question of the night earlier. Today I put out a poll this morning. Should we focus? I wanted to see what we should talk about tonight. And I asked, should we focus on COVID-19 or do you want to be distracted a little bit and not talk about COVID-19? So 80% of you said that you wanted me to distract you, please. And then 20% said they wanted us to talk about COVID. And I don't understand those 20% of the people, but whatever. It's all good. So we're not going to talk a lot about that. We're going to have to mention it, obviously. One of the things, and this isn't really necessarily UCF related, but it's sports related, and we're talking sports. And there's not a lot going on with UCF except what we talked with Mark Wright about right now. So I wanted to bring up the thing with the Florida Marlins, or Miami Marlins. I don't know what they're called. But a bunch of them tested positive for COVID-19.
Right.
This is all we're going to talk about that. And I mean, what do you guys think, Roger and Ben? What? And then anybody who wants to call as well, you can talk to us about this as well. What do you think the repercussions are going to be of what happened with that team? And Major League Baseball saying pretty much their season's on hold, if not over.
Mm-hmm.
They had 14 or 16 people, I think, test positive or something.
Yeah,
some
I think it was
like
about
that.
14. Yeah.
What's that going to have the impact on the rest of the sports world? I mean, that's the biggest bump, I think, of athletes, the biggest group in one spot anyway.
Yeah, and it's the one sport that so far is taking it on without a bubble. They're not doing it inside like one arena, one area of the country. They're traveling around the country and doing this. Of course, no fans in the stands, but they are not doing it in a bubble. So I'd like to hear what Roger's take is on this, on its effect on potentially college sports.
Well, Ben, you're absolutely right. I mean, my first take on it is obviously that, they are the only professional team that went without a bubble. So MLS, they had a bubble. The NBA has a bubble. The NFL is still figuring itself out. But from a college perspective, I think all of these professional sports, and some ADs have come out and said it, this is basically their proving ground. So this is how they're going to figure out, and they're glad that they're going first on what they need to do. So at the end of the day, it may be our first indication that really that bubble mentality may be the only way to keep this thing at bay for large groups of people. Now, baseball, in general, there's more distance while you're playing it. It's not football where you're constantly in contact. So there's that proximity, and I think there was some conservative thought process around that. But in general, it shows us that, hey, we've got sports that are going live right now. We're going to have a baseball season for spring sports as well. I think that bubble concept is really being proved, because if you look at the NBA, they've been able to play largely unaffected. But now you've got someone like the Marlins, a professional team, who it could affect not just from the ability to play, but also economically in lost revenue.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Roger, speaking of Major League Baseball, how are our UCF players that are playing in Major League Baseball doing?
Well, some of them are doing great, and some of them aren't. So Drew Butera, he's been a staple and a name that every Knight fan knows. He's actually gotten called back up to the major leagues. He's playing for the Rockies. He's had 3 at-bats so far. He's batting 333 on the average and has a 667 OPS. So he's doing really, really well. Dylan Moore is another person that's on an active roster. He's playing for the Mariners. He's got no at-bats so far, so no stats on him. The only other player that's on an active roster today is Dan Winkler. He's playing for the Cubs, and unfortunately, he had a bad outing. He had 0.1 innings pitched, has a 27 ERA. I don't even know how that math works, but he does. He had 1 strikeout and a whip of 6.0. So, again, we're early in the season. There isn't a whole lot of stats to go by, but Drew is actually doing really, really well. A 333 average is nothing to sneeze at, and much better than what he's been doing recently. So congrats to Drew. He's been a great representative for UCF and a staple of the MLB community.
Absolutely.
And fun fact about Drew Butera, his mother, Mrs. Butera, was my 7th grade history teacher. So how about
really?
that?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. All right, that's cool. That's cool.
And we and him and I went to UCF at the same time. We both graduated high school too. So.
Yeah, and we've got some younger guys that are going to be in there as well that haven't quite gotten going yet. So, and there's some older guys as well that are still going out there, but. Who knows where they're at this point? There's a couple guys. Also, of course, this week is the NFL rookies are starting. So Gabe Davis, there's been a couple Twitter things of him. Today he had his Buffalo gear on, looked good in the number 3.
Nice.
So they're starting out that, and I think the NFL season, once it hopefully gets going, hopefully something does not happen during all this, should be a good time for our rookies that are there for sure. So that will be exciting. A little bit of UCF news this week that I kind of forgot to talk about. Otis Anderson named Athlon Sports All-American as a punt returner. I believe that he is on the third team All-American for that one. So that's cool.
He was on Phil Steele's All-American list as well, I believe. Yeah, that's right.
And then also he was placed on the Hornig Award list, and that one is for like a utility player. And we know, obviously, that Otis Anderson is absolutely a utility player and does all kinds of cool stuff out there on the field.
What I found cool about that list is there's 44 players listed on it, and some of these lists have like 150 players, like more players on the watch list for a single award than there are teams in FBS football. So, seeing only 44 is a little bit of an honor to be on that watch list at the start of the year.
Yeah, I mean, the watch lists for UCF this year are tremendous.
Yeah.
Another guy, Samuel Jackson, to the Werfel Trophy list, and that's pretty cool too. That one is college football's premier award for community service, which is cool. Not only a player on the field, a great player, but then a community service type guy on the outside as well. And all that stuff is important. So on the watch list, we'll go back through this. Not Joey Grant. Richie Grant.
That's a throwback.
It was, yeah.
Throwing it back to Joey.
I'm old. All right. Richie Grant on the Lot Impact Trophy Award list, on the Benton Dark Award list, Dylan Gabriel on the Davey O'Brien Award list, Trey Nixon on the Blitnikoff Award list, Joey. I said it again, Richie Grant as well, and Aaron Robinson on the Jim Thorpe Award watch list. Yeah. So, and then they're also both on the Nergiski Award watch list as well. And then Cole Schneider as well on the Outland Trophy Award list, all those lists are the best football players in college football. So,
and that Phil Steele All-American team, I think it was Otis and Cole Schneider and Aaron Robinson, right? Those three guys.
Or Richie Grant. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it was
who
Aaron
that
Robinson.
one was, yeah.
But it just shows you that secondary
is
is so stacked. It's like they're all pretty.
Yeah, and that was, a kind of a thing at one point that I was wondering about just a little bit when we were, back on the podcast. We were talking about that a while back ago. What were you concerned with? I was a little bit concerned with the defensive line, the secondary, because we lost Neville Clark back there, the linebackers because we lost Nate Evans. So there's some space to fill back there, but obviously these guys are well thought of throughout college football. So as far as that Phil Steele, yes, it was Otis Anderson, Aaron Robinson, and Cole Schneider. You were right. I thought for some reason Richie Grant was on that as well, but he was not. Roger, what do you got?
Well, obviously we've got some recruiting news we didn't get to next week. We've got Brandon Adams as a new recruit. He's a 3-star safety out of Arabia High School in Lithonia, Georgia. That high school should ring familiar for Knights fans, as we've had several superior talents come out of there in the past. He's a huge DB, 6'3" and 280 pounds, which is huge. He is projected to be a cornerback, but can also play any DB position that's out there. He had 18 offers, including Indiana, Air Force, Navy, Minnesota, Washington State, Mississippi State, and many others. Again, it seems like we're winning a lot of these mid-level P5 battles. He played, and now what I'm really excited about is he played QB, receiver, and cornerback in high school, which is an unusual mix. As a QB, he showed some decent wheels and did great in running reverses and draws. So he knows how to move. He knows how to read defenses and offenses. And he was a decent passer. He also caught some great passes as a receiver. So he showed his ball tracking skills, his hands, and the ability to catch in a large radius, which is going to be great as a safety. And he really laid the wood. He could really elevate in coverage and used his height for contested takeaways, and played well both in the soft and in the soft zones and off the line. So in that bump coverage, he did a great job of being physical. So he's a big body. And, he's just got great hands, great wheels, and great vision.
All right. Well, recruiting continues, obviously. Rivals reports that we have 13 total commitments for this upcoming season. And then so we're looking for a couple more. I think they have a couple more spots. And the guy that we were talking about last week that we thought was coming from the Gators, I don't remember his name right now, and it doesn't really matter because he didn't come here. Wound up being plucked by Ole Miss. So that was kind of a bummer as far as that goes. But, oh well. That means we still have one spot available, I think.
I think the name to watch.
We've already
a different guy. All right.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the name to watch is Devad Wilson out of the transfer portal.
Okay. And when we come back from a break, you can talk to us a little bit more about that guy. So we'll be back on Knightline at night.
Night Nation, this is Adam, one half of the dynamic duo that is the Sons of UCF, which is found only on the Knightline Sports Network. Join UCF Mike and I each week as we bring you some of the latest from in and around UCF sports, including such great segments as the Josh Heupel Translator, Top 8 Lists, and Cow of the Week. We'll also bring you some of the most in-depth and unique interviews with some of your favorite former Knights. You don't want to miss a moment, so make sure you subscribe to the Knightline Sports Network wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll take care of the rest. Go Knights. Charge on.
Hey Jeep Wrangler owners, have you ever sat in your office at work and watched the rain just pour into your Jeep because the weatherman said that there was a 0 chance of rain? Or you put your doors back on because there was a 100% chance and then not a drop of rain fell? Well, there's a company out there that can help take the worry away and give you the peace of mind to be without your doors. The company's called Life Without Doors. They make waterproof rain curtains and dash covers for Wranglers. Life Without Doors is there to help make the decision to leave the doors at home an easy one. Find out more at lifewithoutdoors.com.
Now, the 3 big things you need to know.
3. Planet Fitness will require face masks inside gyms starting August. 2. Deputies say 2 people were injured in a shooting at the Oak Ridge apartment complex. It happened just before 1 p.m. 1. Governor DeSantis stopped by Orlando today to update us on the efforts against COVID-19 by Advent Health.
We've had some facilities that have just dropped the ball.
He says despite some long-term facilities seeing outbreaks, the state has provided enough resources to keep everyone safe.
Looking for expert advice but don't want to surf the net?
It's time-consuming to research on the web.
Or you have a question but don't know who to trust?
Oh yeah, that's important.
Well, look no further. Join us every weekend for expert advice on everything from gardening to financial, auto to home, health to legal.
Wow, it's all local and it's all free.
Yep, and because it's on WDBO, you'll still get your news, weather, and traffic. When making your weekend plans, be sure to include WDBO.
An auto accident can change your life forever. At Chad Barr Law, we are raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Hi, I'm Chad Barr, and I want you to know that our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the representation you deserve in your greatest time of need. If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, call 407-599-9036 for a free consultation or visit chadbarlaw.com. At Chad Barr Law, our clients come to us in need and leave as family. Offices, Altamont Springs.
Hi, Dr. St. Germain, D.C. here with Burnfat Orlando. I would like to personally invite you to download the WDBO app powered by BurnfatOrlando.com. With Burnfat Orlando's step-on-the-scale money-back guarantee, if you don't lose weight within the first 10 days, we'll refund your money.
Check engine, airbag, brake lights on all at the same time? What's it all mean? Join me, Larry Perry, every Saturday 3 to 5 p.m. for the Jasper Engine and Transmission Magic Mechanics Show, where we take your automotive questions. Hey, did I mention it's free?
Emily here to tell you that if you're looking to rent your home, you need my good friends at the Realty Medics. The Realty Medics are Central Florida's #1 property managers. Their tenants stay 40 months on average, and they offer triple guarantee protection. You get a month of free property management if your home doesn't rent in 14 days. You get your management fees back if you're not happy after 90 days. And if a tenant is removed in the first 6 months, you get a new one free. Central Florida's rental market is booming. Homes are getting leased fast. And an experienced property manager like the Realty Medics helps you and your renters stay safe and stress-free. Don't DIY or mess with inexperienced property managers. For the lowest monthly fee in town, the Realty Medics does the grunt work and guarantees results. Cash in on real estate with the highest rated property manager in town. Go to therealtymedics.com right now to get a free home rental price analysis or call to speak live with a property technician today.
TheRealtyMedics.com.
Spectrum Mobile is now the fastest growing mobile provider in the nation, growing faster than Verizon and AT&T, and even growing faster than T-Mobile. It's easy to see why. Spectrum delivers the fastest overall speeds and is the most reliable mobile service coast to coast. There are no contracts, added taxes, or fees. Switch and you could save up to 40% and see why Spectrum Mobile is the fastest growing mobile provider. Learn more at spectrummobile.com based on Q1 2020 subscriber data.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back on Knightline at Night. I am Andrew Phegley. We're live from the Dever Team Studios and the WDBO Studios and the Santa Rosa Beach, Florida Studios with Night
Hey-yo.
We're brought to you by Chad Bar Law, raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036 for a free consultation, or visit chadbarlaw.com. He will take care of you. Not your typical lawyer. He's a really good guy. Very, very huge UCF supporter and fan, and we couldn't do this without him. So big deal there. Also, I mentioned the Dever Team Studios, and you can call Travis Dever in New Smyrna and get some real estate if you're looking for something. New Smyrna, we all love New Smyrna Beach.
Oh yeah, I was there Saturday. It was awesome.
There's nothing more beautiful. I don't know about Santa Rosa Beach because I haven't been up there yet in that particular spot where Roger is up there. But if you're looking for anything from Daytona to New Smyrna, anywhere in there, and all the Edgewater and all those little places, Daytona Shores, Travis Dever can get you taken care of. So you can find him on the old Google machine, Travis Dever. Look up the Dever Team, and he will take care of you for sure. Roger, I'm looking at Ben, and I'm talking to Roger. We do this show.
It's kind of hard to look at me right now.
I've been at work all day, All right, so Ben.
I am Ben.
You had something to talk about.
Yeah, so
we were looking for something to talk about here.
So absolutely, there is a date to really look out for coming up, which I believe is next week. I mean, this year is flying by, so August 4th is a date to look out for. It was actually supposed to happen. The NCAA Board of Governors met last week, and they were supposed to come to a decision or kick the can down the road to August 4th. They wisely made that decision to go ahead and wait just a little bit longer. But next week, they're supposed to be making a more definitive decision on what to do with the 22 fall sports championships. And what they could essentially come out of that meeting with is a decision to either cancel or move those back to the spring or do some sort of hybrid of that. But that is essentially all sports all fall sports except for FBS football, because as we know, NCAA doesn't really have much influence over FBS football, as the CFP essentially controls, and the Power Five essentially control most of what goes on there. But that decision comes across next week, and they decide to cancel fall sports across those 22 other sports. It puts a lot of pressure on the FBS football, and things can get really interesting if they decide to continue on with all other sports essentially canceled or postponed.
Man.
So it's a very these next few weeks are very critical times, and because we're up against it. I mean Mark said it earlier in the program. We're up against it every day.
Pins
is a
and
critical
needles
time
every day. Yeah, we're up against all kinds of stuff, and we're waiting to hear. Mike Oresco has gone missing again. Obviously, the AAC commissioner, he hasn't said anything about anything. We're looking for his face on a milk carton here coming up soon, because
he really seems like he's just waiting on all of the quote unquote Power Five commissioners to say something. He's just going to pick one.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I've tried to have him on a couple times. I've talked to his handler. Ain't happening, I guess. So I'll keep trying, and maybe I'll bug him enough. He's been on the podcast and all that stuff multiple times, but I guess he goes to sleep early or something. He's not good to go after 8 p.m. or something. I don't know. All right, Roger, really quickly, you got anything else? We have about a minute and a half.
Sure. Just real quickly, speaking of dates, obviously the ACC will be having a major decision on their scheduling, potentially 10+1, which could hurt our opportunities to play UNC and Georgia Tech. On top of that, another important date is August 8th. It's UCF Day on ESPNU, an entire 24 hours of UCF football. So that's super exciting. And lastly, PDQ has come out with a fried chicken milkshake. And as a purveyor and lover of fried chicken, I have no idea how to feel about that.
Okay, well, that was definitely interesting. Yeah, the UCF thing on ESPNU is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We're not going to go into that too much because we're coming up on the end here. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for Mark Wright for coming and talking to us. Thank you back at the studio there for keeping us going. I appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
WDBO Orlando, WDBO FM HD2 Orlando, W297BB Orlando, Cox Media Group Station.